Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. How we doing? Hopefully doing good. Markets are gapping up. If you're in short-term puts, you're gonna be hurting. Hope everyone's doing good. Hopefully it's a good weekend. Nate, good to have you in here. Johnny, I'm doing all right. Busy work weekend with freelance work again, but thankful to have some work, but wasn't a very enjoyable weekend. Working at the desk all day yesterday, a little bit today. Hang out with you guys for a little bit tonight and back at it tonight for a little bit, but that's life. Hopefully August and September a little bit slower. Yeah, it's rough. But like I said, it's not forever. It's not every week. It's just one of those things where a couple projects stack up and they all want the same deadline kind of thing. But it's okay. I'll take the money. I'm just bummed. I like to go camping and stuff, and haven't been really out this summer a whole lot. So, Johnny, I'm a dialogue editor and audio mixer for like film and TV stuff. So, um, audio nerd, I guess you could say. All right, we got 12 of us, kind of a smaller class. One more annoying server ping, and we'll dive in, guys. Does anybody want me to go over SPY and QQQ? I don't want to feel like I'm brushing it over, but it's like all-time highs, gap up. Can't really go over much. If someone really wants me to do it, I will, but it's basically just, same thing day after day. Ride the MAs, fib extensions. Like I said, it's just tough when everything is all-time highs, but I'd like to spend more time on the requests because it seems like the night always just gets away from us. But one quick server ping, you guys. Put your requests in the chat. So far, I only have 3. So if you guys got to jet out of here, I'll be getting to your requests pretty quick. There's only 3 people that DM'd me so far, but put in the Zoom chat. Yeah, gap up was the EU tariff agreement or whatever it was. I don't know the details, but they agreed in principle, I guess, to some stuff, I guess. Okay, let me see this out real quick. All right, guys, again, put it in there. Oh yeah, Boeing. Let's see. Let me find the pin. Yep, Johnny, I'll get to that as soon as I can. You're number 4 in line. Let's see who we got in here. Crash, where you at, man? I'm gonna skip you. No Norvin. Oh my gosh, you guys send me DMs. Let's see. GE. Who was I DMing?
Yeah, that was me.
You were at, oh, good to have you in here, brother.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
Yeah, are you in this one, man, or do you just want to kind of go over and kind of see where we're at, what I do on it?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking,
Because this is all
yeah,
time high,
definitely
right?
looking
I
for an
believe it's all
entry.
time high. Yeah.
Well, not all time. It had that, if you go back like years,
Oh, years. Okay,
but 52 week high, yeah. So,
let's go
and there's
back
like that
to.
little trend going on the daily. And it just, I don't know, man. Just looks kind of nice.
Give me one sec, man. Go back more than 10 years, 15. Well, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Things have been beaten down, I guess. All right. Yeah, strong trend line definitely. On this one, what I did see, I kind of got a little bit of charting, started ahead of us here, but as of now, we're gapping up over what I would consider like a double top zone here. What am I on? I'm on the 30-minute chart. So I'm seeing this here and here, but good news is it's breaking over that. So if you're not in yet, you probably know where I'm going quickly with this, or where I usually go on most of my charting sessions. Breakout retests, because any previous resistance, as traders, swing traders, day traders, whatever it is, we treat old resistance. Oh, now that we're on top, we treat as support. So basically, what happens is, there's a lot of potential sell orders sitting here, and we come back into it, and we just want to see, are those absorbed, and do buyers step in aggressively and overtake the sellers to hold that levels, and that's what kind of gives us the bounce. So that's what I'd definitely be doing. You got a good eye on this one, because it's definitely higher lows. So each time we dip low, it's higher. It's obvious. And so in a perfect world, this next higher low is going to be somewhere right around in here, basically 273. And again, like I say, I like charts like this because it makes it obvious. If we try and buy the dip here, for a day trade, our stop is not something crazy down here. It's kind of in this little cluster from Friday. Let me zoom in just a little more for you. Kind of what I would do for this. Are you swing trader, day trader? I guess I don't know if I've ever asked you. I don't remember.
I should be a swing trader, but I, I try to day trade.
Day trade.
But
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I would do, man. So how my mind works on trading stuff like that. I would just do something like this. It doesn't have to be exact, or you'd have to copy this exact. But if we're going to try a call bounce here, there's almost $1 risk. As long as your strike isn't too crazy, you might be able to sit through that. If you want a little less risk, you can grab kind of the top side of this afternoon, basically the morning afternoon, top range there, because we can see, like I said, how my mind works. I'm trying to buy the dip here. I got to be able to stomach, like I say, a little bit of red, because it's not going to be instantly green. Again, my stop for me is not going to be something down here. It's does this section hold here from the previous day? And that's what I would do. That's probably a reasonable stop. I don't know off the top of my head, but 272.50-ish maybe. So you're taking half of your delta that you're losing on that trade there. But for me, as long as it bounces this, which means it's bouncing all this upper volume here, it means buyers are stepping in, and we should bounce that level. But for me, a slice through that, and now what do we have? Now we have a double and a triple top from that day previous over here. And puts are probably going to pay on the way down. If you don't want to take the puts, because maybe it's a bullish bias, you just got to kind of wait till we get into this next these little candle clusters here, where these volumes are going to be stacked. If I were to have volume profile turned on, we'd see like little volume spikes and nodes that kind of Toasties taught us. You just look for those spikes. You're trying to buy the dip somewhere down into there. Does that help you on this one?
Yeah, for sure. I had that issue with Delta Airlines last week where I like sold too quick, and ended up missing out on like that bounce back up.
Yep.
What kind of candle should I look for to close under that before I hit my stop loss if I'm playing the
For
call side?
me, Yeah, for me, I try, if it's a day trade, I try and teach like 15-minute, unless it's like, so this is a it's a 15. So it kind of, it's, it may not be the answer you want, but it depends, because if I'm in, what is, oh, we talked here, you got stopped out, was it Thursday or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, with Delta. Yeah.
Where's my stupid Zoom things in the way? Trying to find my scroll wheel at the bottom here. Here we go. Sorry.
We talked about that 55 is that like kind of key level, and I
Yeah, yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I
So
believe in it. Yeah.
um it's hard to say. So I usually say a 15-minute close, but if I get a kill candle like this, like when it breaks that, it's hard to say, because when it breaks the low of the day, but I know that the support zone here is probably going to bounce, and it did. It's hard to tell people. I mean, if we enter here, the loss honestly probably wasn't that bad percent wise, but it's hard to stomach a solid body close down, the next one closed down, the next one buys up. So it's hard to sit through that. But if we kind of if we kind of just trickle in here, we're kind of holding, we start seeing some wicks below it. I always tell people I need a full 15-minute. I'm on a 15-minute candle here. That would be a cut for me. And then I would just have to flip my mindset of just get back in when it reclaims, because if we didn't cut, obviously it's in hindsight, but if we keep going, it probably would have went down to here. That's why I always tell people I was telling you. So um, really like a 15-minute candle close, anything like a full body close under. But if I'm alerting like puts here for you guys, and I see like a half-ass close, like not just barely into our red stop out zone, I'm gonna continue to hold on this, because you can see that rejection after that. But if that candle fully engulfed up here and poked out, that'd probably be a stop out for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
Cool.
Sweet. Appreciate you, man.
Yep. Norvin. Yep, man. Norvi. You got 5 seconds, or I'm going to crash. Crash, you're up, brother. AAP. Norvin, you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, just go after him. I'll go after him, bro.
Okay, cool, man. Just give me shit, man. Crash, you're in here, right? Yeah, it's cool. AAP, man. Looking at this one, I like the retest. I think that flow hit, that 60 flow hit. Yeah. Yep, I see the requests come in, you guys. I'll get to them as I see them. Apple, SoFi, NVIDIA, I think that is TTD. Yep, I will get to them all for you guys. Yeah, Crash, I like this one right here, man. So this back test of 58.25. We sold down a little bit and then kind of consolidated. So let's see where this daily 20, this green line, you guys. You guys know I like to trade that or incorporate that in my trade plan. This is another cut and dry, pretty easy trade plan for me. We're going to try and buy that dip here if you want 58.25. Again, sort of that daily 20 creeping up. I don't know if it's going to open flat or more up here. We sold down, so that average volume of how it calculates that, the daily 20 might be a little bit lower, but I really like this zone here, similar to GE. We know, or we should assume, that is, if that 58 kind of this pocket here, if this holds here, I don't want to be in puts down here. Clear and obvious, stay. Buy the dip here, try and get that bounce, and then where do we sell? Where do we trim at? You guys know I like to use my 30-minute 1-hour charts here. I find my swing highs and lows. So first plan of action, we buy the dip here, and let's just hypothetically, we start pumping, we move up 58.25, somewhere into this candle cluster here at 59 flat. I'm trimming for sure, because we see, again, I always say trade the chart, not the percent. We see we bounced up here all afternoon. We had trouble reclaiming on the hourly candles over that 59 there. So we bounce up. Do you think sell orders are still parked there? You think sellers are there? Absolutely. So let's see where we open up on this. Breaking hold of that. Boom. Keep moving up. 60 flat. That was that flow hit that you mentioned, a little bit of flow on Friday, Crash. So get into that 60. Obviously, maybe that's their target with their eye in there. We see this cluster here. So there's going to be a bunch of volume stacked here. Boom, trim on the way up. So this is target number 2, 3. And if you got runners, break out of 60, 63, or kind of this little cluster here, because it makes sense with all this right here. So very easy chart to trade. hypothetically, if it were to work out. But again, any break over 58, basically 58 flat under this red zone, kind of this cluster here. And I think we'll see a continuation sell down into that zone there. So hopefully that answers your question, man. Yep.
Hey,
Johnny B, volume profile. I don't have it on during class because it gets kind of messy. I think is that what it's called here?
hey, I got a question if I'm able to speak.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, can you look at two things? I do like to buy 660 for September 30th, like that far out because of the growth of SPY.
Uh-huh.
And then just keep that. If you can look up chart, help me understand to see if that's a good one, like a call, because it has time. And then another one is CDNS. I've
Yeah,
been
I'll
seeing
get to CDNS in a minute. Yeah, SPY, you said a 630 call?
660.
Oh, 660. So that's $40 out of the money so far. It kind of just depends on how much time you're talking. If you're saying like, hey, October, November, I can roll with that. It's like,
September 30th is the call that I saw.
yeah. Was that flow hit? Or man, there's a big ass flow hit. This is a
I'm not sure, but I saw it. It's at $5 a con, and it looked like money right there for the time and the growth. It's
man, someone's getting
yeah. I'm
paid
just
on
looking for
this.
like
This delivered.
confident.
This on
For me.
Thursday, guys. 640, $20 million. Someone's getting paid on this tomorrow. Yeah, it's hard because of the gap up, man. I like it. I'd have to check the delta on it. Because we generally swing trading, I tell people to get a delta of 0.3 or higher. So that's a 30% chance of that going in the money and moving in your favor. Yeah, September, I mean, there's not as much time as I'd like on that, but it can definitely work. I would say definitely start a partial position size, never go full. So, if your position size is 500, I wouldn't be going in all $500 at once. I'd be just going like a half size on that. I always start to average down because if you were to buy tomorrow, you're buying all-time highs and a gap up. Any sell down, even a little bit, you're instantly red. So you always want to start half size when we back test some levels on SPY, which hopefully we will before September. You can average down and get then the average will be a nice profit for you. But we can definitely talk more at the end of class and definitely DMs too. I definitely want to make sure I get to everyone's requests for sure because we got a bunch trickling in here. Norvin, you ready?
Yeah.
Cool, brother. What do you eye on this one, man? Bullish. This bank's right.
Yeah, those calls, those 142s in the money, and then 144s.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, man, we got big consolidation zone here, but we know when consolidation breaks out, whether to the up or downside, the move is explosive. Not huge bias right here, but I'm gonna just leave this red because as of now it hasn't broken out. But anything over really this like 143.5, man, which will also be last week's highs, breakout retest, get on that train. I think it can go for more. Obviously be mindful as we get into this 144, 145, all this stuff here. There's going to be a bunch of volume stacked here. And on the way up, obviously, unless buyer volume is just heavy, you're going to have a little bit of kickback, which is fine. But if we can get a breakout over this level tomorrow, what we're trying to do is a break and retest of Friday's high. So Friday's high, a low of the day, high of the day, whatever it is, or high of the week, which this is also high of the week. This is and should be treated as support. But again, don't look up here, like I say, for everyone on their charts. Just look left and we know where to sell. If you catch that 143.5 breakout, if you're in 144 calls, we see that Tuesday, 2 weeks ago, just that open and hard sell kill candle, which was lined up right there with the previous day. This is again 2 weeks ago. So any push up into 144, man, I'd definitely be trimming because hard sell there. Worst thing you can do is be up profit cheering, taking your screenshot, boom, smack down right back into your buy zone there. So definitely trim there. And again, break over 144, it's on. Start looking left again. Start getting these upper side targets up in that 145, man. But nice chart. I'd say this is a consolidation example chart. A lot of consolidation here, meaning no one's winning. Buyers are winning at the bottom, sellers are winning at the top. Nice chart though, man. Let's see. Johnny, you still in here, man? Johnny. Yeah, Johnny B. Let's look at Boeing. Or wait, Johnny English. Sorry, there's a couple Johnnies here. Johnny English, Boeing, BA. BA, and are they gonna gap? Didn't they have that Southwest tire catching on fire? As of now, they're gonna shake that off, but generally not very good news. On the short side. So yeah, I got a line here from somebody a time or two ago. Johnny, anything, man, if you want to short it and you're not in top side range, if you start seeing it kind of peter out here, if we push up into this, so if we believe this candle now on this overnight session, 30-minute chart here, the only way I'd short this is if we start pushing into here and we see topside wicks like that. Does that make sense, man? So if we start seeing topside wicks like this on the 30-minute, that's your chance. So for me, I'm not really, I always say when you short something, it's gotta make sense to short it. I'm not just gonna dive into puts on the opening 5-minute candle. I wanna see 15-minute, 30-minute candles. So I'm on the 30-minute time frame right now. If we push up in the morning, it's gonna mess up the drawings here, but hang with me. Just want to try and zoom in as much as I can for you guys. So this is in fact a 30-minute candle. So basically we want a repeatable action of this morning move here. So we're treating this candle here just like this. So clear this real quick. So if I see a push up and instantly 30-minute, 1, 2, 3 candles here, stopping out like this, when you see wicks on the top side, what does that tell us, you guys? Sellers are strong, sellers are aggressive, they're smacking it down, meaning we push up here to start, or the candle at once made it up here, but the candle closed down here, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure all day long, and even this after hour session, selling pressure. So Johnny, any push up to there, again, repeatable price action, as I call it, that looks like this. Yeah, get your puts all day long, because you're not just shorting a trend just because it's up too much. You short it because of that. Already looking to average down. Okay, cool. I just seen your message right here all day long. But again, if you take an average and we sell, your average down is now green, and you're working towards getting that original entry where we entered, working on getting green. So you should be, on your way to overall profit. But if we break over this, man, you're breaking last week's high. I can't be holding puts because your original entry is red, your average down is red, and now you're even deeper red. So this is all that matters to me. So basically, if you want to chart it or take a screenshot, basically that 235.25, that you got to respect that stop. I mean, if you're in November contracts, yeah, maybe hold a little bit as long as you got in somewhere down here. If you're in like under 200, it's different. But if you're in something short dated, brother, it's got to be a stop out there. And then hopefully you're green by the time you get into this support zone here at 233.6, because it's probably going to bounce. Don't believe me, big ass bounce there. So hopefully answers your question. If not, let's keep going in DMs. We can talk about it later and get you a trade plan, or you can let me know your position sizing if you're comfortable, and your strikes and all that stuff for sure. I see your requests rolling, guys. Just going in order. Don't want to skip anybody. Let's see. Ryan, you're up with Hood. Currently holding shares. Consider selling covered calls if we reject amount this level. Yep. So covered calls, you want a level to reject. If you sell calls, you are selling to open, and you're buying back those calls at a cheaper price. Let's check the daily. I haven't looked at this one in a while here. Yep. All right. Ryan, I'm not super good with selling premium. I know Eva does it. Joe, username a Joe named Joe, he does it as well. But generally, you want to sell those where at a spot that makes sense. Same with sell to open on some puts. Calls, kind of that 107 zone. That basically it's kind of a big pocket here, because again, you're selling those calls to somebody, and you want it to go down and buy back at a better price. So you're collecting that debit there, you're getting that credit on the way down. Anything under, it's kind of a big range. Like I said, I'm not just going to throw it out there, but if you start seeing rejections here, continue rejections at 108 or anything, a break under 105, definitely. Or, I mean, it sounds like you want to keep, your hood shares for the long term, but, consider, I don't know what percent you're up, but it doesn't hurt to book some profit. You can secure some profit because, not saying the market's gonna be super weak, but generally speaking, markets are kind of weakish in September. So if you're up really nice and we kind of just have a bad, shitty September month, that comes up here and you're up big and you're just like, man, I just gave up, 20% of these shares, why didn't I sell? You kind of got to decide what your plan is with these. If you're in heavy and you really want to free up some capital, I would look at be selling some, but talk to Joe, talk to Eva, Eva Panda Alerts. She definitely, she does covered call sales premium a lot that she can probably help you a lot more. But from a chart perspective, yeah, you're kind of eyeing the spot right here where it makes sense. Cool. I see hymns. I see coin. I will try and get to it quick as I can, guys. James C. Tesla. Are you in Tesla, brother, or you want to be in Tesla? Probably going to gap up with the market. Actually, it's not. Thank God. So we can actually give a trade plan on this. James C. If you don't want to chat, open the mic. That's cool. That's cool. I can respect that. Clear and obvious rejection zone here, just for speed of class. Just going to grab this guy down here. No bias, just charting what I see. Extend this to the right. So on the way up, resist. Oh, shit, wrong line. My bad. Cool. So resistance, man, at 313. So support resistance, guys, just quick class. 313 was huge, and you see what happens when we break over it. Sellers give up, massive move to the upside, buyers full control. Daily 9 moving average, which would have seen this. Daily 9 moving average, full engulf on the 30-minute and resistance overhead. Sell down, nice retracement, retraced all the way back to 313. So if your charting was good and you weren't buying that back end dip at 313, that was your spot right there to do that for sure. But again, you guys, no bias on Tesla. I'm not in it. Just showing you guys the chart here. Push open here. I'm not taking calls at the open. I'm not taking calls at resistance at the open. Not saying dive into puts because volatility is very heavy. Worst thing you can do is go in heavy on Tesla right at the open. You're in puts and we slice up. We break Friday's high and you're not cutting. And suddenly, 15, 20 minutes in the day on a Monday, first day of the trading week, and you're down massive on puts because you refuse to cut. So watch this price action here. If we fail to break over 322, similar to that Boeing chart, we start seeing topside wicks or engulfing candles like this, take your short because your puts, it makes sense where you're taking your puts, double top, on the previous day, sell down, but you're not looking for 313 right away. What do we have here? Yellow line, daily 200. It moves slow. It's going to be somewhere around here. Don't believe me? Look where that candle started and closed right there just Friday. So if you take the rejection on puts, definitely sell into this 319.6 or turn on the daily 200 moving average and definitely trim some puts there. But break and hold, I still don't like calls here just because of this. It can pay, but with caution. I shouldn't say I don't like it, but take your calls with caution on a breakout over. But again, you're not looking, for 329, that huge 329. You're looking, you go down to a smaller 5-minute time frame and start finding some targets inside that Friday high of day there. But Tesla, very, very nice chart. Green line is not an EMA, Ray. It is a moving average. If you're on Thinkorswim, I've showed this to people. That kind of worked out good, wherever that's at. It's a multi-time frame moving average. So my daily 9 is my purple, my hourly 20. Thank you, River, for showing us the hourly 20, and the daily 20 is my green. My exponential EMA is 9. I don't have that on the chart, I do have it on the chart. That's the purple solid line. But my dashed lines are daily moving averages based on daily time frames. Thinkorswim is awesome. It shows you that on intraday chart. has made me so much money. And it's also, you know, saved me from losing a bunch of money, you know, trying to short something or play the bounce or this or that, you know, not knowing where moving average is at. This is nice, you guys. So if I were to go the daily moving average, the 9 is right there at 321.50. Yeah, Nick, yeah, think your swim. It's tricky if you're coming like straight from Robinhood or something, but it's worth the switch. Obviously, you guys that pay attention to my tab, I still take trades on Webull because their active trader is faster and better. I can do my custom orders a lot quicker. I can do an active trader chart a lot quicker, but everything else I like Thinkorswim for. Everything else better, for sure. Right.
Hey, 1K.
What's up, man?
Just going back to the volume spike. You don't have to put up the profile, but like you were explaining it, and then I didn't really get the ending. So if it spikes down to a profile, do you just
Yeah, I
like
went over
use that as
kinda quick.
resistance, or
Yeah, let me see. I don't have it on here.
because usually volume profile isn't like a bell curve?
I think you're thinking of something else. Someone help me out. What the hell they call it in volume? Shouldn't it be volume profile right in front of me? This is probably gonna be wonky because I don't have it set up. But let me see if I can help you out quickly here. All right, so volume profile. So basically, guys, I don't keep this on my charts because it kind of muddies stuff up, you know. But basically, where I always talk about my pivot highs and lows, and any clusters, when clusters start forming, let me find some consolidation. So okay, Tesla sold down on Thursday, and basically, you know, it's a kind of a wide range because it is Tesla. It's a $4 range. But if we focus on this lower range here, so we sold down the first 30 minutes of the day, and the rest 5 hours of the day it stayed down here. So what is it doing? Volume is accumulating, and that is what is this green shaded area. And so, you know, you can kind of get good when we start seeing clusters. Like if I were to turn volume profile off, I know there's a cluster of volume somewhere down here. You know, somewhere down here, I know there's a cluster of volume somewhere down here. And so that's what I was kind of saying is when we come back into those levels there, that's the bread and butter of my trading every single day. I trade these pivots, highs and lows, so we can see volume spikes in here, we can see volume spike in here, and where does that volume spike end up? Right around support. Volume spike here. I guess I didn't really answer your question. It's where the big thick lines stick out, volume spike there. Where's this spike at? Big support level there. Does it make sense? Absolutely. So not a lot of volume here, because what did the market do? The market's moved up very, very quick. Not a lot of activity was traded here. Not a lot of volume was traded here. So we pushed up quick. We broke over support. I know this is getting messy. But then we pushed up over. Dog, get out of my room. Sorry. Damn dog's a puppy. He is relentless. Yeah, so volume spikes are kind of my bread and butter of trading. But like I said, I don't always leave them on the chart just for when I show you guys my charting or take an alert because it kind of gets kind of messy. So again, consolidation day, range day, look at that. All that volume is just concentrated right there. So when we push back up into this, whether it's tomorrow, next week, whatever it is, there's going to be sellers parked here because all this volume is sitting here, and we zoom left. When we come into 333, you can bet that first attempt, if we kind of rock it up to that, kind of peter out here, there's going to be some smackdowns here when we come back into that to that. So volume profile, guys, if you don't use it, is very, very, very powerful because you can see on the way up, all this volume stacked here. Definitely. And on the flip side, not a lot of volume is traded here. When we get in these levels, if we break Friday's high a day, this move, sorry, I'm shouting, getting kind of excited about this shit. This move can and will come very fast because it broke Friday's high. And last week, there's not a, look at this, look how thin this volume is here. Not a lot of volume is traded here. That move will be very fast. Great question, man, great question. All right, back to the request. NVIDIA's up. Or wait, NVDL? Wait, let me check back here. So put some video concerning. Is this a leveraged NVIDIA? Feel free to unmute your mic if so. NV. Oh, it is. All right, cool. You're smart, probably taking something a little bit cheaper. Let me get volume profile off just for class, guys. But again, volume profile, very, very powerful tool. You have puts on NVIDIA, backfire me, 75 put for August 15th. Your strike is decent. You're 10 bucks out of money, not great. August 15th, 2 weeks. All right. Are you in full size, half size? Where'd you enter? Where out on the chart? UTAM, I think I'm saying your name correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. Let me know when and where you entered. So, if you entered like down here, you're hurting, you entered Friday's high, you might not be hurting so bad, but let me know in the chat or feel free to unmute. VWAP. I don't have VWAP on right now, I don't think tonight. Let's see. Blue is VWAP for me. Price of 80. All right, cool. Let's get you a game plan here. Yep, so you're gonna be red. Why is that upper range on? Can't have that. Oh wait. Sorry, hang with me here, guys. Wanted that blue. Lower off, upper off. There we go. All right.
I think he responded on the chat.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking here. Enter price at 80. So you're in a couple days ago. Ooh, you're in somewhere down here, brother. Not gonna lie, not gonna beat you up for this, but I would have cut definitely. So again, using my swing high, swing low trading style. So again, as we kind of swing these lows here, so resistance would be resistance on the way up, and we come back into it. Drawing mode here. That's my cut for me. I know you're still in it here, but basically this range here. So, but you're still in it. So let's figure out how to get you the hell out. Answer number one, you're looking at a loss tomorrow at open. Sell, you're wrong on the trade. Answer number two, if you haven't averaged down yet, is a break under this range here. I don't like telling you this because it moves so far already against you. If I'm being honest, the best answer is to cut, but you really need to break under this top range here. So you see we push up, kind of peter out, sell down, and what do we do instantly? Support is now resistance, sell down, sell down. We're now breaking over, and this is now forming support. So man, if we don't sell through 84 tomorrow, like you got to cut and just take the loss, because again, take the loss, move on, free up that money. You start making money in the week and you're going to forget about this trade. But the longer you hold a trade, this goes for anybody, it's just going to eat you alive emotionally, like literally keep you up at night. You're going to have money tied up on the port. There's going to be alerts. You're like, well, shit, I can't get out of this, or I can't take that trade because I'm sitting on puts. I don't want to take a loss. Like, if the contract costs you $100 and it's 70% loss, well, you can still get $30 back. Like if you're walking down the street and you see $30 on the ground and you're just not going to take it, or you're going to pick it up in your pocket, as long as there's nobody else. So you guys, 70% loss is better accepting than 100% loss. But let's talk in DMs, man. I'll try and get you out of that tomorrow if we can. But like I said, when we swing low through a support and we break back over, like this is my trigger to stop out, or you took it somewhere around here, we break out of this cluster here. So if I were to move this down here, we break over that, that's the cut for me. That's just my bread and butter trading, because as you can see, it formed support and moved higher. So sorry you're taking a loss, but it happens, man. It happens. All right.
CDNS.
Did I skip you, or are we coming up?
I think it's coming up. I'm just like, come on.
Oh no, I'm sorry, man. Actually, the next person that had the request is not in here, so Let me look. Let me look. I just gotta make it fair. All right, we got IWM in the up. I promise, man. Laro, are you still in here? Yep. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
What's you in on this one, brother? I know you trade this one a lot, and then we'll get to CDNS definitely because I've never traded that one. Ooh, gap up. Are you in this one, brother, or you want to be?
You just want to be. You're just copying.
Want to be? Yep. Okay. So gap up's gonna make it tricky. Same as SPY and QQQ. I think we talked a couple weeks ago when someone took a short on this. I don't know if it was you or someone, but I don't know how long ago. But anyway, if we push up this 227.8 this week, if you're bullish, get the hell out, trim heavy. Let's see here. I just hate big gap ups, you guys. It makes it tricky. If we gap up over support, which it's kind of sort of doing here, I kind of like this. So this one isn't so bad, Laro. Basically 226 flat. So if we gap up over, so this was last week's, not highs, but last week's range. So kind of a nice range. So we push up, rejected big time, came back into support, bounced it. Now we're going to gap up, potentially gap up over that. Easy chart for me to trade. Zoom in real quick. Damn drawings here. All right, so a breakout over. Hold here for calls is warranted because we're holding, again, if I were to turn on volume profile, there's probably a decent spike of volume there. If that holds there, buy that dip. Again, don't look for this right away. You're a pretty decent trader. I know you're not looking for outlandish targets, but basically, at least Friday's price action or last week's price action, we don't have a lot to work with, but any push up to that to 226.7-ish, I'd be looking definitely to get into that. But since you're not in, I'm not gonna lie, puts are the easier trade or the more obvious trade based on our last week's price action. You already know what I'm gonna say. We push up here pre-market or at the open, we start forming a double top here. What is our risk? Our risk is small. Our risk is easy. The trade plan's easy. Something like that, you're willing to stop out, something like that. For a repeatable setup, something like that. A repeatable setup, something like that. Sell down, sell down, sell down. Targets are much easier because we have this price action here. Basically 225.6. I look at this cluster here. Thursday's open. We break that, brother. 225.4-ish. Start looking for those. So basically, candle clusters, where are candles closing, where are we starting to bounce? So again, bouncing on the way down, probably going to bounce there. So I'd have an alert here because we could bounce there. Nice bounce there. We sell through that. You just ride that wave down, come into Friday's close. So target, 1, 2, 3. You got a runner. You're chilling. Boom. Now you can start looking on that freebie down there, man. But definitely a tradable chart. But if we start, kind of, just petering out here, we don't get that break over. But any strong break over and hold, bottom side wicks in the bottom, take your calls there with caution. But because you're looking to play a continuation of last week's highs, that's a very tradable setup for a day trade as well, man. Nice chart.
Thanks,
All right, CDNS, trying to find it in this chat. Sucks on Zoom, you guys. CDNS. iPhone, you're up, man. What do you got on this one? Cadence Designs.
So I'm trying to find an entry because it's an AI thing, and
Okay.
the
For
tech
options?
sector. Yeah, the tech sector has been doing really good. So I saw this on like a scanner I did, and it looks interesting, and it has a good uptrend. But I just want to see another like confidence booster, how to get in.
Definitely this range here. If I zoom out, this all-time high range? Can you help me, or is this kind of coming back from the dead? Do you know? Or
I think it's coming back from the dead. But
all right, let's see how far back from the dead it's gotten, because I like to see, if stuff pushes and kind of starts stalling, it's like, okay, why is it stalling? We got to look here. So let's go back 15 years. Well, let's see. This is 2024. So, all right. So a 2-year range, top side range here. So like, you guys know my training style, resistance all the way, baby. But now we're breaking over, man. This is a nice setup, man. For swings and day trades. Swings, I think you need to wait for a back test here and be patient. It looks like a big move. We're only talking like $6-7 down. So for me, I I don't want to start a swing up here because, you know, say you're in some, let's just say November contracts, you're kind of buying the break of this range here, and you can't get into this for anybody. You can't get into swings here, you know, November contracts, you know, 90, 100, 120 days, whatever it is. You can't just say, okay, I'm 12% red, stop out. For me, if I see a break of a range, so this big ass range here, I got to be able to stomach a downturn here. So when you buy swings with time, you know, you didn't say you did, but it's just an example. You're buying that insurance policy. Your insurance policy is, I don't know if I'm gonna be right tomorrow or the next day, whatever it is. I'm willing to hold for a bounce hold here because, again, big volume here. Gotta be. Let's just turn it on. Why not?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask for the
profile.
volume.
Yep. Yeah, all that volume stacked there. Daily. Zoom in here. Yep.
To me, it just looks like it has a lot of bottom outs, like bounces. I think
Yep.
I saw 4 bounces, so it's holding there.
Yeah, so all this consolidation, man, that I'm showing you is now on the bottom side. That is should be treated as support. So for a day trade, man, we really just we want to see Friday's high, a hold first and foremost, a hold of Friday's high, which kind of this cluster here. Can we get a round number and cheat? Yeah, 334 basically. So are you able to see this on the chart? And I'm not zoomed in super good, but so if we hold Friday's high, what are we holding here? We're also holding, I don't know, let's just say 3 weeks ago, this cluster here. So what are we doing? So we pushed up, consolidation, we hold, continuation. So same thing here. Consolidation up here, hold, continuation is what you want. So for a day trade, any holds at 334, it's go time for a continuation up. But you've seen, we looked back 15 years and we have nothing up here as far as I could see. So you want to grab these sneaky wicks up here, these after hours wicks, and just ride the trend. If I'm not sure, I think it's all-time high, but if not, basically what you do, just, you know, put a VWAP on, put your EMAs on, and just ride the trend up. So, you know, you bottom tick here, we start saying higher lows, and your next higher low is the support. And you just look as we start taking dips, you just say, okay, are we creating higher lows? This is your entry. Let's just say we break out over here. We're up here now. Where's your stop? Your stop is here. Okay, we push up here. Where's your stop? Your stop is here. That's how you cannot lose, and you just ride that damn thing up. Keep going, keep going. But any rejections of Friday, and we're probably going to back test some levels, which isn't a bad thing. So we got a big ass move up for a swing trade or shares. I know I'm yabbering quite a bit, but a back test to this, that's golden, man.
What's that top? What's that top there so I can look for it?
Yeah, 334 right here, man. And then this range here that I'm preaching, you can take a screenshot or write it down, 322 to basically 326. I would draw 2 lines and then just draw, this would now be green.
Okay, so I'm looking for a drop or a hit and then drop and then hopefully buy back.
Yep, just it's a swing high and a swing low is what you want to catch. So what I do as far as like charting education, green is support, red is resistance, just because R and R, it makes it easy for me. So this is, you know, bread and butter for me. Any back test of that, you buy that dip. Because another thing, look at these 2 moving averages here. The 9 and the 20 are stacked. So any consolidation or back test of this, you have all this support here and 2 moving averages underneath you. That's how you catch the swing trade on moving average of a breakout of a trend. I don't want puts here unless we reject this, or clean this up real quick. So only puts here and rejection of that for a day trade, or we slice this big zone here. But to me, swinging puts in here is kind of a no zone for me. This is just day trade zone, swing on a break over or swing on a bottom tick there. Because again, you don't want to buy stuff at all-time high. You want to buy stuff at a discount. You know, do you want to buy a TV for $1,000? Do you want to buy a TV for, you know, $330 or $326? You're not saving much money on that TV, but, you know, buy shit on sale. Nice setup, man. Nice setup. Glad we got to that one. Does that answer your question? Hopefully I'm not going too quick. All right. All right. Let's see. I skipped a couple people. I'm sorry. Apple and Amazon. I'll be pretty honest with you for iPad. I know I skipped you. I'm sorry. Apple, I think they're going to pin it at 214 AAPL until earnings. This does not interest me for swings at all. push up, sell down, push up, sell down, push up, sell down, consolidation all day long. You buy your dips anytime we're over at 214 or 213. Inside here is ugly for swings, ugly for swings. Keep it day trades only. None of this excites me for swings because you think a breakout's happen, boom, smack down, smack down, smack down. You think the breakdown's happening, buy up, buy up, buy up. It's just consolidation over and over and over, day after day. But what's probably going to happen, Apple, what is this? This is big money positioning for the earnings report. So this could be a good example of an explosive move on Apple. You know, I don't know what the expected move is, but very much so big move. And as far as playing it for earnings, that's not my style, not my jam. You got to buy at the money or in the money for it to make sense. If you're buying like a 190 put or a 230 call, you're going to get smoked on it. Probably same thing for Amazon. I don't mean to be quick with that, but I don't play earnings. And then Apple even more. You didn't say you want it for swings, but let's just wait for Apple to have earnings because this thing is just clear and obvious consolidation day after day. Venture, yeah, I kind of just answered that. Hopefully that's kind of what you're looking for. Maybe not Avenger, but again, day trade it, you guys. Contracts for me expensive. Earnings are Thursday. Buy all dips at 214. Short it or get out of your calls, kind of in that 215 zone there. But again, do not like this whatsoever for swings. Let's see, did Hood, just getting caught up on the chat. Sweet, doing good. See if I caught up. JT, what study? I'm just getting caught up on the chat. What study you're talking about, JT? Let me know. Shoot, we're caught up, guys. I got one here. Let's see. Hymns. Let's take a look at that. Hymns in Coinbase. I'm seeing. Jump on the mic if I'm skipping, and then Errol, I see a request at the bottom. Cool. Daily 10. No, I got the daily 9. So it's a multi. If you're on Thinkorswim, take a screenshot if you want. This multi, I should have mentioned. This is not by default. I think Infinity made us this script. He made it for the hourly 20 for River, and River shared it with us all, his knowledge. So what I did, you guys, instead of just the hourly 20, they all talk about that's this yellow line. I just took it a step further, and instead of an exponential, I just went to the daily, simple moving average, close, and then you just put in whatever moving average you want here. So JT, yeah. So on the length, you do the 9, 21, whatever it is. I do 9, 20, and the 200. That's just what works for me. That's just what I stuck with. You guys, I know the 50 moving average is very, very popular. You can add the 50. But this might be pinned in Rivers, but if not, let's talk after class or in the morning, and myself or River can get that for you. But this is not by default. This script is not. I don't know how to do scripting. Somebody made this, but by default, I don't think it's on Thinkorswim. But yeah. Lost my train of thought. That's okay. Hymns. Yep. Dan, you still on here? Yep, I see you. Are you in this one, Dan, or wanting to be in? Let me know. Unmute your mic if you want. If not, it's all right. Give you a little bit to answer. Hymns, coin, and GFAI. Made good profits this year on calls. Cool. Are you looking to scale out? Are you in some leaps? Because Hymns is kind of pulling in a little consolidation zone here. I'm not saying be super bull or bearish on it, but just be more mindful, I guess you could say. So what I'm seeing here instantly on Hymns, as of now, breakout retest, which is great if you're bullish on this. So, once we sold under, it was our top multiple days, sell down, bottom, consolidation, breakout, big move. That wasn't ER because ER is coming up. I don't remember what that date was there. But anyway, sell down and then back at the bottom of the range. So this was support. So support, resistance, big breakout on Wednesday. And now Same side, resistance is now support. So breakout retest all day long. Look at that. You can see where all the price action is formed at. So that is, again, the bread and butter of my trading. You guys like to play this one. I know this one's very popular. Buy all dips, 57.55. Anytime we dip, 57.55. You see the candle closes when they fail to close over, a little bit of selling pressure, fail to close over, selling pressure, break over or close under. Again, study the candlesticks and what they're telling you. Look at those bottom side wicks there. That is sellers trying to sell it down here every single time at probably 57.5. Buyers saying, nope, no way. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3, 4, 5 candles just on Friday. If that doesn't tell you that there's support there and I should be drawing a line, you're doing your charting wrong. This is all day long. I would argue this is, you know, a recent demand zone. So as long as this cluster holds here, guys, buy all dips. Buy all dips. This is kind of no man's land for me for puts because hard bounces can happen at any time. I only want puts on a break under this 56.8. We see when that sells, selling pressure. But if you were to take puts here, you can. You don't know when that buyback's coming. This is a 30-minute candlestick chart. Maybe that buyback came in the first, 30 seconds. Maybe it came in the last, 27 minutes of that candle. So no zone for puts here. With caution, you could scale into some calls, but for me, I'd rather try and bottom tick or bottom tick here. But as long as that holds here, 57.55, man, buy that dip because that is, consolidation for possible big leg up coming. Nice chart. Coin, I'm losing my voice. Must be almost an hour. Of course. Shout out to any teachers that might be in here. I don't know how you guys, teachers, professors, I don't know how you guys talk all day. Lose my voice after 1 hour. Also because I shout, get a little excited. All right, Coinbase. Ooh boy, look at this, guys. Where's our top? It's obvious. Where's our bottom? It's obvious. If not, I'll help you out here. All dips are being bought at support. Support sold through on the way up. What is it? Resistance, resistance, resistance. 3 times last week, if you count the after hour session, we're creeping up to there. That's the level to watch. 402.58. Well, it's a range. Don't want to get too ahead of myself here, so let's draw it as a range. So tricky spot here. You really need that cluster to break out. Again, I know there's a little bit of a wick top side there that peaked over, but the point of this is, what do we have? Our dashed lines we talked about all night. Daily 9 is going to be stacked right there. So you have a moving average overhead. You got a supply zone overhead. Do you want to start a call position here? I don't. Maybe you do, maybe you get lucky and it breaks out. But if you were to start a call position here, we get smacked down big. You're like, dude, why the hell did that reject? Well, maybe you didn't chart so well because of clear and obvious breakdowns every time that fails. And a moving average is stacked right there. I never want to start a put position, or excuse me, a call position at resistance and a moving average is stacked there. That's a double, a double whammy on resistance. On the downside, if that daily 9 was trickled in down here and we trickle in down here, yeah, buy calls all day long. So for me, if you didn't swing calls here, you didn't say you did or didn't, so that's fine. If you didn't swing calls and you're not selling and trimming all up here, for me, how I trade, you kind of got to wait. See if we set a double top, triple top, whatever it is, failed breakout, get your short on puts, breakout over, failed first attempt there. With caution, you can kind of buy some calls here, but you really need to see us break those Friday highs. We break that, that move is going to be fast and strong. Sellers are going to give up. But if that keeps rejecting, we're probably trickling down back into this range there. Let's see. GFIA for Errol. Appreciate you being here. I see you in here week after week. And then Ray, yeah, we'll get to TSM. TSM, when you take a look at that, that had some bunch of bearish flow. Maybe it passed, maybe it sold, but we'll take a look at that that chart for sure. Monday Friday 2 weeks ago, and then Monday, Tuesday had some bearish flow. Let's see if they closed out. GFAI, you're in shares at 196. All right, so you're looking a little bit red. Ooh, have no fear. Get your entry line here. You're red, but you're probably looking like a 60% loss. Sucks. Not going to sugarcoat that. Wait, 196, right, Errol? Oh, is this a long hold for you? Shit. You've been in this for a while, huh? Or they do a reverse split. Have you been in this? Or feel free to unmute or let me know in the chat. 1.96 was your entry. So either bought end of November. Yes, long hold 33%. Okay. Well, bottom range. If you haven't averaged in yet, this is the spot to do it. Let me get a game plan going for you here. Do you have room to average? Is that what you're asking? You're looking to average? Because this is the no-brainer spot to do it. Because shares, the one good thing is they have no expiration unless the country or company goes out of business. But not going to beat you up for being 33% red, because there's a little bit to look forward to here. All right. For me, if you haven't sold yet, I'm not going to sell here. Because my rationing is, if I didn't sell at 10 or 20 or 15%, I'm not going to sell in. So did you guys see that on the daily, how I started on the daily, all that consolidation, like months and months and months. So reason is, if you haven't sold yet, why are we selling at support and 3 moving averages stack now? So for me, what you do is, let's see, if you buy here and you take a hit, how much is that? Another 20%. What I would do, all right, here's what I would do. If it was my money, I was on at 196 and haven't sold yet, I would nibble on some shares here at 133, because you have, as of now, this range is support. It's the top of this old range here. This thick line is support until it's not. I know we closed under it, but what I would do, I would start to nibble in here, because from here to here is a 12% loss. For me, a 12% loss on shares is manageable. Anything over like, anything over like 15, I start to go, okay, does my entry suck? Do I need to start taking a loss here, or realize loss here? So I would start dollar cost averaging lightly. Don't get in heavy, because again, you have you have the daily 200, you got the 20 stacked, you have all this volume here that is stacked that should act as support as we come into 125. So again, if you buy here, your new entry is your max loss is 12%. So I would average in down here like this. Again, if this 117 fails, we have failed all this consolidation here of recent support. It's probably going to break that. And on this entry here, I don't throw a lot of numbers at you from this entry, this is 20% down loss. And then your original entry way up here is down another 20%. So that's not good. So for me, the only reason I'm telling you to average is because you're at a big support. If we broke a big support and you're down 33% of that, again, and you need to cut. But again, it makes sense. You can take an average on shares where it makes sense. This all day long makes sense, because all these moving averages stacked up. It's not just a little pop here on volume for one day, and we're coming into it like this. We've seen how stacked that was day after day. That's the spot to do it. Hopefully, you trickle and get an average. This was a fake sell on Friday, buy it back up. So now your average at 133 is in profits. And now, you bought at 195, you're at 193, maybe your average is 1.6. So once we break last week's cluster here, on your average, your full position is in the green. So hopefully, that works out for you. But yeah, nice stack there. Ready? Let's look at TSM.
Hey, real quick, if you don't mind, 1K. As somebody on the outside looking in here, because obviously Errol's been in it for a while, would this be like an opportunity for me to buy into that one?
I don't know the company. We got some financial nerds in here. Crash is, who else? there's some people that are really good with finances. Short answer is we need to see, what was it, GFAI, I think. I don't know the space, says AI. So first plan of action, I see something beat down. I need to check the financials and what sector it's in, Nick, and say, okay, why is it getting its ass kicked when SPY is all-time high day after day? And this thing is setting lower lows for like literally a year and a half. So was it like a new IPO and they're just burning money, month after month, quarter after quarter, whatever it is? From a chart perspective, I mean, yeah, this is where you nibble in, but you can't, I'm not saying you're going to YOLO, but you can't YOLO on something like this and just go, well, it's the bottom, maybe it's going to bounce. We got to say, okay, why is it getting sold down? But again, from a chart perspective, I mean, all day long you say, okay, why, this is clear and obvious support down here. So, people didn't like the company when it's $6, but now, sellers, I say on any chart, sellers are getting exhausted or shorts, whatever it is. And now they're holding this. Buyers aren't winning, but now you have to say to yourself, okay, if you're, short selling this, it's like, to me, this says your time is kind of running out. It has held this for a year, August last year. So good question. I mean, again, I don't know what kind of a company it is, but if you want to look for a share flip, I mean, I've said it before, I'm kind of a catfish, I'm a bottom feeder. This is where you do it, man. It says it's bouncing the zone here. That's the spot to do it, man. And then on the way up, you have all the information on the way up, all this stuff up into here on your way to that huge swing low up to there. So even like, let's just cheat and check percents here, because you bottom take a 133 tomorrow. Oops, get out of there. Why is that not
That's
drawing?
one of the things that looked pretty attractive, is like the percent wise. Because I mean, it doesn't take a lot on these cheaper shares to go up by 20, 30%,
Yeah, for sure. Why is this not working? All right. Maybe I got the wrong drawing. One of these days I'll figure out things from. Yeah, okay. So my point is, a bottom ticket at 133, and you sell up into this 1.5. That's a quick 12% share flip. Like 10 to 12% on shares on a flip all day long, man. And we start pushing up into this 1.7. I mean, you're probably looking at 15 or more percent. So yeah, you bottom tick here, we're pushing that 1.6. That's 21%. We push into this cluster here, 1.7, 28% share flip, man. Good question, Nick. Yeah, 28% all day long. Like, you guys are cheering about Hood 28%. Why can't GFAI make us 28%? Yeah, as long as it's share flip, who cares? As long as it's going up and moving our direction, who cares if you want a long term on it?
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Crash, get on that, man. Let us know, man. Crash is I don't know his background, but he knows financials pretty well. Ray, TSM, you still in here, brother? Sorry about that. Oh, I took too long. Ray dipped out. All right, did I miss anything else? Because we're hitting 6:06 my time. One more, why not? Upstart, and then we'll close out. If you guys gotta head out, you guys feel free. I appreciate it. Ooh, break and retest Upstart all day long. Look at that. I don't trade this very much, but somebody had me chart it. Yeah, loving that. This is a top range breakout. Not saying dive into swings, but if you're a swing trader, you want to catch the leg up, break and hold of this upper range here. That's how you do it. But again, don't be married to any trade, because the reason I said, breakout, retest, swing, all of our moving averages are stacked underneath this. If we break and retest and we start trending up, all these moving averages are now a support bounce on the way up. Don't believe me? Look at this trend here. Dip into the 20, or dip into the 9, dip into the 9, dip, broke under, back over. Now look at those bottom side wicks on the daily moving averages. So your moving averages, when you're over them, they are acting as support. Are you looking to get in this one, or just want some perspective? Because definitely nice chart with caution here. If it breaks out, it can go for more. But top of last week's high, that's not a trade for me. So kind of this upper range here. If we kind of open under it and we start taking calls here, that's not for me because rejection all day long. But a breakout over, that can go for more. So you'd be the reason for that breakout over call trade is you're saying, hey, we're breaking last week's high range. So this is the upper range of last week. This is last week's low. You could short on the break of last week's low. I've done that many times. A break of last week's high is a reason for a trade plan, and that's what we'd be doing there. So, you know, break and hold of 84, or as long as 84 holds with caution. But again, we slice 84, you know, puts are probably going to pay a lot more. Don't hold those calls, but very nice potential breakout. Again, potential. It's not a breakout until it happens. Everyone's been trying that damn breakout on Apple. You know, it's worked for a day trade, but yeah, that's one to watch there. 80 puts. A little bit against you. Yeah, any sell under. Again, with caution, and I'm using air quotes. I don't want to tell people to average down if they're already in too heavy, but we start failing this range here because this is a cut point. If you're in a half size, you take your average because your average is now green, and on your average down, when we sell down, your original position is working its way back towards the green. Or if we just kind of start rejecting here, and you don't want to average in this kind of this no zone here, any break under basically 81.5. So we broke this upper range. You go with caution, take an average on your puts, or just hold the original position if you got time and work your way back green. Avenger, okay, real quick on Apple, yep. What price on the chart did you enter? You don't have to tell me your position size, but are you?
If I'm not mistaken, it was around like 210. I've been in there for like 2 weeks now. It was around 210-ish.
210. Have you trimmed yet?
Yes, I've trimmed multiple times and I've entered back into it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, so you entered down here, awesome. So again, so if this was 214, it's not, but just for education, fail, 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 breakout, big move happens. So same thing. Again, everybody wants that breakout. That's 214, 215.
I've been trimming every time it gets around 215, but it's never gotten past it, honestly.
Yep. So here's my honest answer. So if you truly trimmed, and I believe you that you did. So let's just, you don't have to give me a dollar amount how much you made. Let's just say you made 500 bucks. I don't know how big your port is. Maybe you made 1,000. I don't know. So if your current position you have now, let's just, are you comfortable saying how many contracts you have, or if you don't, you know.
Right now, the one I'm in is financed. However, if let's say I swing that through earnings and I don't know, I probably wouldn't go to zero. And if it went to zero, I would be break even on the trade.
Like the overall trade that you've been doing?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's, you read my mind. That's reason for anyone listening. That's reason to sell. So basically what he's done, you guys, he's day traded up into earnings. He didn't get the breakout he wanted, which is fine. But when we say we have a free runner or a finance swing or whatever it is, that's what it is. So if he made, 200 bucks flipping, and now this contract that he's in, if it's worth, 195, he can let that go to zero. And yeah, I can, if you want to take that gamble, brother, it's fully financed. So basically, worst case scenario, you worked your ass off for 2 weeks, catching trades, and you close out at break even. Kind of not ideal, but it's not going to hurt you. It just maybe an emotional hit, so to speak, but it's not going to hurt the port. So that's the one time, you guys, the one advice I can give to someone that swing through earnings. Yeah, swing it, man. But if you're trying to catch this breakout and you're like, okay, I'm red 80% and I'm holding one that's now break even, should I hold? Well, or 80 bucks, excuse me. Now you're asking, should I swing? You're already 80% on these flips here trying to catch the breakout. I'd say no, don't swing it. But yeah, man, swing it. What strike are you in?
Let me pull it up. Give me 1 minute. Sorry. The financed one is a 215 call, okay, expiring in September.
Oh shit. Yeah. Swing that shit.
All of my contracts basically with Apple have had time.
Oh yeah, I'd swing it. I'm not saying swing it because I'm bullish. I'm just saying because you have time and it's been financed. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been speaking to River with it too. He's basically on the same page as you.
Yeah, and it's a reasonable strike. Like even a one, I mean, that's going to put you a $1 move in that. One thing I will say while you're looking at the contract, So earnings are on Thursday. So this is the one time I probably wouldn't swing it. So if we trickle up here, man, we start doing this, we start dancing, and we kind of get the breakout before. That's where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go risk off because you got the move. Because one thing that can happen is, so implied volatility, IV's building on the contracts. So your contracts are getting juiced, as we say. So you can be in profit here and you can still swing, but you're going to get a little bit of IV crush. Let's just say Apple pushes to 216 and we come into 215 on earnings, and they sell on earnings, but not really bad. You're still going to get some inflation, IV, implied volatility, not inflation, implied volatility deflate. It's gonna suck some value out of that contract. Not a lot because it's a September contract, but you're gonna take a hit on a $1 sell hypothetically, and then a little bit of IV deflate. And so that's the one time I would say, if you get the move this week before earnings, I don't know. If I tell you to sell and we rock it over 218, you're like, shit, so it's up to you, man. You got to decide, is the money worth it? Worth it to you. But if we trickle in here, you're in September and you can take the hit on it. Yeah, just swing it, because I don't know, maybe Apple moves 0.5% and just it closes here. We have earnings and we open here. I don't know, or maybe we rock it or we knife. I don't know, but if it's fully financed, man, swing it.
I've been hedging, so I could see this week's price action and go based off of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it said, it can't get any more obvious. Obviously earnings coming up, but we know it's obvious where you short, and when we get into here, you kind of get out of your puts and you want to start buying the dip here. So again, greatest support zone. We know where bounces are happening over and over. We know where rejections are happening over and over and over. Again, this is a day trader's paradise in here, man, for sure. Nick, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. So you got to head out. Have a good night as well. Does that answer your question, Avenger? I know we DM a lot, but hopefully
yeah, it did, and I'll bother you again throughout the week. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's never a bother, man. If you send me a chart and a trade idea, I give priority to those people all the time, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we're 15 minutes over. I appreciate the love and support. Hopefully you guys learned something tonight. I want to end the chat with that, but DMs are always open. You guys send me a chart, say I'm looking at this, I want to enter here. Is this my stop? Is this good? I will always help those people that put the work in. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. You guys have a great night, you guys. Hopefully it's a good day for us this week. We got FOMC, we got earnings. It's going to be a crazy week. If you're a new trader and you want to reduce risk, this is the best 5-day vacation you can take. Just take this week off, turn off Discord notifications, and come back in a week, and your port will survive and be happier. But with that, you guys, I'm going to end it. Have a good night.
Thank you, 1K. Have a good day.
Yep.